150-plus missiles, dozens of drones, Tel Aviv engulfed in air alarms. This was no symbolic act. It was Operation True Promise 3, Iran's boldest strike yet. On June 14, 2025, Tehran answered Operation Rising Lion with a full-scale military response. What began in secrecy is now in broad daylight, and this is just the beginning. In the pre-dawn hours of June 13, 2025, Israel unleashed Operation Rising Lion, a meticulously planned assault on Iran's nuclear and military infrastructure. Over 200 aircraft soared across 1,000 miles of Iranian airspace, delivering more than 330 precision munitions to over 100 targets, from Natanz and Fordow to key missile bases and military compounds. High-ranking officials say Mossad operatives played a critical role. A covert drone base inside Iran neutralized air defenses, while commandos on the ground facilitated surgical strikes on command centers. In a single night, Iran lost its top military minds. IRGC Quds Force Commander Esmail Ghani, Chief of Staff Mohammad Bagheri, IRGC Commander Hossein Salami, Aerospace Chief Amir Ali Hajizadeh, plus nuclear scientists Fareydun Abbasi and Mohammad Taranchi. Reports confirmed 78 killed, including civilians, and over 329 wounded. Some sources cite roughly 320 injured. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu framed this as an existential act of survival, claiming it was essential to roll back the Iranian threat and prevent nuclear proliferation. But Tehran saw it as a declaration of war. Iran's response was swift and ominous. Within hours, Ayatollah Khamenei called the strikes a searing blow and warned of harsh punishment. IRGC spokesperson Fatemi Mohajerani said Tehran had no choice but to restore our national pride. State TV broadcast images of their fallen leaders, streets filled with anti-Israeli rage. The wound ran deep. Behind closed doors, Tehran activated the final phase of Operation True Promise 3, a plan drafted months earlier. IRGC Deputy Commander Ali Fadavi hinted the operation was poised to strike with power never seen before. By nightfall on June 13, Iran had launched more than 150 ballistic missiles and over 100 Shahed drones, targeting Tel Aviv, Rishon LeZion, and Ramat Gan. What had been whispered threats now roared across the skies. Iran's military unleashed wave after wave. Fars News described 3 coordinated salvos from evening to dawn. Ballistic missiles and kamikaze Shahed UAVs flew in formation. Israel's multi-tier defense, Iron Dome, David's Sling, and Arrow, topped by U.S. Aegis and THAAD batteries, intercepted the bulk. Israeli officials claim a 90 to 99% interception rate. Still, some missiles penetrated. In Rishon LeZion, a missile struck near residences, killing 2, injuring 19, and later causing another fatality. Tel Aviv suffered structural damage. Ramat Gan lost 9 buildings entirely and displaced 100 families. Even the occupied West Bank felt the impact. 5 Palestinians, including 3 children, were hit by falling shrapnel. Ben Gurion Airport ground halted flights indefinitely. Jordan, Iraq, and Lebanon closed airspace. Israel's shelters packed with millions seeking safety. The waves of missiles forced a regional lockdown. Tel Aviv's airport, one of the world's busiest, went dark. Airspaces over Jordan, Lebanon, Iraq, and even parts of Iran were closed. Travel stalled, trade grind halted, oil prices jumped on the fear of escalation. In Tehran, citizens braced in shelters as news of the leadership's deaths sank in. A wounded public sentiment now prepared for war. The dual challenges of sanctions and conflict pressure the fragile economy further. Global calls for calm echoed from the UN to the Vatican. Guardian of global peace, Secretary General Guterres demanded utmost restraint. Pope Leo urged reason over destruction. But the diplomatic landscape fractured. Iran withdrew from scheduled nuclear talks in Oman, calling discussions meaningless given U.S. support of Israeli actions. Iran further issued sharp warnings. Any Western aid to Israel, from the U.S., UK, or France, would make their bases official targets. President Trump, now back in office, said, Any escalation from Iran will be met with overwhelming force and dispatch naval assets to the region. U.S. intelligence cooperation was key. CENTCOM and Jordan fed data to intercept IRGC missiles. It was a high-wire act of military coordination. In early 2025, Iran quietly unveiled missile and drone cities, fortified regions stocked with thousands of advanced weapons. IRGC Aerospace Chief Hajizadeh called True Promise 3 a demonstration of deterrence, a message. Iran's confidence remains unbroken, yet strategic analysts warn that Tehran's retaliation also faces limits. Its air defenses are weakened. Proxies like Hezbollah and Iraqi militias stand diminished. Meanwhile, economic strains, sanctions, inflation, energy shortages are tightening internal pressure. Public discontent simmers. Experts warn Iran may withdraw from the Nuclear Non-Proliferation Treaty. They already enrich uranium to 60%, only a short step from weapons-grade levels. If Iran openly pursues nuclear arms, it could ignite a regional arms race. Saudi Arabia, Turkey, even Egypt may follow. With direct capabilities impaired, Iran may pivot to asymmetric tactics, cyber warfare, embassy attacks, Houthi strikes in the Red Sea, or even sabotage on Western soil. Warning shots. Iran already uses proxy groups to attack U.S. bases in Zionist interests beyond the region. Tehran also tipped that any direct attacks on U.S. bases will be met with full retaliation. The Strait of Hormuz lies in the balance, a choke point whose disruption would threaten global energy markets. Global shipping, oil reliability, trade all hang by a thread. The shadow war is over. What remains is open confrontation, with missiles crossing borders, diplomats silenced, and the global order under stress. Israel struck first, Iran struck back. But the bigger question looms. Who strikes next, and how far will this spiral go? If Iran embraces nuclear armament, regional missiles on alert will become the new norm. Allies will pivot, adversaries will escalate, and all of us may soon be counting the cost. Subscribe for real-time updates on this unfolding crisis. Comment below. Will diplomacy prevail, or will this become a wider war?